Hey guys, I wanted to talk more about if you wanted to start day trading or at least try it out. Um, this was the this was the guy or this was the company that will basically give you a free account to play with, and if you pass their tests, they will give you actual real money to play with, and then you can they'll give you their money and you'll basically pay them a percentage. I can't remember what the percentage is, but maybe you pay them 15% or 10% or whatever your profits are. Of course, minus but anyway, I just want to look. I want to listen to this guy real quick. And this guy is, I would say, better at shorting than anything else.
Hi everyone, Meir Barak here. Today we're going to learn one of the most important lessons in day trading on how to use the level 2 or the market depth window in a way that will help you make decisions where to buy, where to sell, how to take your profits. This is going to be done today and with a live example of LCID. Let's take a look at LCID first. As you can see, the stock is down 12%. It tries to move higher, but it's supposed to come down because it's supposed to be a gap and go. That's another lesson. But normally you expect a failure. When the stock is down more than 3%, you expect it to try and move higher, you expect it to fail and then crash down. But again, we're going to make a lesson about that. So I'm expecting it to come down and I'm about to short 8,000 shares because I expect it to continue moving lower. Right at this point, now I'm shorting 8,000 shares. That's a classic gap and go. And again, take a look now. We're going to take a look at the level 2 and try and figure out what should we do at what points. Now, I just talked about the chart now. I just talked about the fact that the chart should come down and it should move under the lows. But now let's take a look at the level 2. The level 2 data or the market depth data, on the left side you can see the buyers 865 right now and the sellers are on the right side 866 and 865. Now take a look at the numbers. These are extremely important. Now I'm going to pause it a little bit. There is a big seller, I just paused it, of 45,000 shares which just showed up for 1 second on the seller side. I just paused the video so you can see that 1 second 45,000 shares, which I couldn't see earlier. Now at that point, I know somebody's hiding quantity. I'm back to the live trading, and now because of this big seller and because we are getting very close to the lows, I will double my size. I just saw a clue that somebody is hiding the quantity. So that was the first lesson about level 2 and market depth. So right now I'm adding another 8,000 shares. I'm short 16,000 shares and I'm expecting a breakdown. Now this all data came from just one person, whoever that person was, who just showed me a size that he was not supposed to show, because normally they will be hiding this size. Now it's touching the lows as you can see here and moving under the lows exactly like anticipated. The stock is doing exactly what I wanted it to do, which is a gap and go. And now I've got a double size. Now again, watch the buyers, watch the sellers. On the left side, you can see that the buyers are at 853, now 852. Sellers are at 853. Watch the numbers. Watch how many sellers you have and how many buyers. Now again, stock is moving down under the lows. It is looking great. I'm going to fast forward it so you can see what happened there. These are 1 minute candles and it's going sideways. And soon you will see that it found some support at the 850. This is a semi-whole number as we call it. And look at the number of support that it has there. 336,000 shares on the buy side of the lows. Now does that mean that because we have less sellers, you can see 851, we've got 50,000 shares, does that mean that it's going to move up? Not necessarily. It only means that it's going to move up if the number of sellers is going to come down. Now the number of sellers is 50,000 shares, so make sure it's not coming down. Just keep watching the sellers. Watch the sellers, they're at 50, 40. Now, this is becoming some kind of concern. I don't want to see it coming down, still holding to 50, that's okay. But I will get to the point where I will be ready to cover my short, which means buy. Now 40,000 shares, that's a risk. It just came down, 10,000 shares. I'm getting ready. You see my finger is on the buy button here where I'm going to cover. Now it's moving up again, 60,000. That's good. I'm relaxed. At this point, I'm relaxed again. Now again, a lot of buyers, 340,000, and not so many sellers. Now that's a concern, of course, but it will become a big concern only if the number of 60 or whatever it is right now is going to come down under, let's say, 20. Remember, I have 16,000 shares to buy. So I'm watching the buyers and the sellers, 60, 70,000 on the selling side. Now watch the buyers. You're going to see them dropping right now very quickly. So they're about to drop. You can still see them. Now, they moved from 300,000 to 70,000. It's about to crash. Now,
and like that first guy, I showed that he lost 850,000 an hour. He wasn't watching the level 2. This is what you should be watching right here. This level 2 shit. This tells you what the future orders, who the buyers are, who the sellers are. Yeah, you still want to glance at the graphs and stuff too, but he really wasn't focused. And I don't know, maybe the guy's a really good trader. I don't know. I guess he's pretty good if he's trading with $1 million. But this is someone like this is someone who to learn from, who teaches. Teaches how to do it.
Now you know that it's about to crash. 90,000 sellers, 70-something thousand buyers, shares of course. So take a look at the numbers right now, and you can see that it's still holding over 850. It's just that the number changed. The 300,000 are out. Now where they sold, we're going to take a look at that real soon. We're going to take a
Now look at this. Now there's more sellers than there is buyers.
Look at if the executions really happen. This is, again, very, very important. Again, number of sellers, 90,000, and now we came down. So it just came down under 850. This was my expectation that it's going to happen. The number of sellers actually outweigh the number of buyers, and now we are under the lows. So the breakdown finally happened. You can see here in the chart, and now I'm expecting a continued move. But again, I'm with my finger on the button, expecting to buy if it's going to pop up. Now again, a replay. Watch the number of buyers at 300,000. Now watch the left side. There's one execution of 20,000 shares, but now you see nothing. The number came down from 300,000 buyers to 70,000 without any executions. Again, this is a replay of what happened earlier. I just replayed what happened there. Now you can see that we're still over 850. This is before the breakdown. We just came to 70,000 shares. Maybe you should replay this video again on your computer so you can see that more clearly. But now you can see, again, we did not yet break down under 850, and the executions are just 100 shares, 1,000 shares or so. You couldn't see the 300,000 shares, just one execution of 20,000, and that's it. That's it. Now we're still coming down. Now we're under the lows. Now take a good look at the buyers and the sellers. As I just showed you, it is extremely important not just to watch the buyers and the sellers, it's also important to see whether there are executions at all. So when I watched the time and sale, I could definitely see there were not real buyers. Somebody just posted a number. Somebody just posted 300,000 shares. He wanted to scare away the sellers. But when he saw that it's about to break, or he was thinking that it is about to break, he just canceled the orders. He was showing you he wants to buy. He was trying to shake you out, get you away of the trade, and then he was just gone. Once this big buyer was gone, we could have seen that finally we broke down under 850. So again, this is something you should know once you watch the buyers and sellers. Now let's watch it right now and try and figure out what's going to happen next. So first lesson, people are not showing you the right quantity that they really want.
You can see right here he's up $4,000. And he's playing with a lot of money here. Let me see. Well, a lot of money, in my opinion, but it may not be a lot of money for other people. So in this trade, he's risking I'm not sure exactly what he bought it at, but at the current price, if you multiply 16,000 shares times $8.37, that comes to $133,000, 133,920. So he's playing with a lot of money. He's risking $130,000 basically to make a $4,000 profit, which could be argued that it's a little risky to do that, but I mean, me personally, you know, as a value investor, most of the time, a lot of times other times I'm focused on income, so I may not be value oriented. I just want, a 10% return or whatever. I just want some income coming in. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the guy made 4,000 right here, but he's risking 130,000. So, but what he was saying earlier was there was a buyer that had put up 300 and some thousand shares, that he was buying 300 and some thousand shares, but that trade actually never got executed. I think he said there was a single $20,000 trade. I mean, 20,000 share trade that was executed. But anyway, the reason I'm showing you this video is there's a lot of people that day trade. Maybe they just day trade for an hour, 8:30 to 9:30, or no, 9:30 to 10:30 or something like that, and they just trade for an hour, and they make $500 or $600, and they're just done for the day. And they're, granted, not every day you're going to be in the green, so you gotta. It kind of sucks if you go to work and you end up losing money, but if you're going to be a day trader, you're gonna have down days, and it's all about psychology and your mental state. I mean, if you're down, just take a loss for the day, and what happens a lot of times is someone might be down 2,000, and then instead of them just calling it a day and just like, all right, man, I just lost $2,000. We'll try to make it up tomorrow, or we'll try to be in the green tomorrow. And what they do is a lot of times they'll go from being 2,000 in the red to 10,000 to 20,000, and then they're not thinking clearly because they're scared. I think there's a saying, scared money don't make money. But anyway, let me
trade. It started with the 45,000 shares that we've seen earlier, and gave me the understanding that the seller doesn't want to show you how many he wants to sell, because he doesn't want someone on the other side to buy. There was a big seller, he was hiding this quantity because the stock was not yet at the point where it's about to break down. So he was concerned, he didn't want to show that he has a lot of quantity. And the second time, the buyer wanted you to see that he has a large quantity, which was not true. He was hiding. He was actually showing you a number, expecting you to run away and hoping that the stock will actually move higher. And once the buyer was not sure anymore, he just dropped the number. The sellers became more aggressive because they didn't see the big buyer at 850, and that's it. Stock came down. Now take a look at what happens now. Look at the sellers. 833, 76,000 shares. 832, 43. More sellers than buyers, which means it's supposed to come down. So again, I'm watching at all times, trying to figure out. I just reached my target here. I'm up $4,800, as you can see. I'm in profit, and I'm getting to the point where at any pullback, I will like to take my profit. I will like to take my profit. As you can see, I'm getting ready here to take a profit of 15,000 shares, and now I'm watching the buyers and the sellers. So on the seller side now, 46,000 shares, 832 buyers, 16,831, which means it's likely to come down. But of course, at all times, you should look at the seller side, and you can see that we are close to 50,000 shares, which means it's holding. It's holding with the pressure to the downside. If this number is going to come down under 40 and then under 30 and then possibly under 20,000, I will be concerned that we will have a pullback. And I don't want to get to the point where we're going to have a pullback without taking my profits. So at this point, I'm getting ready to take a profit at any sign of pullback. So I'm watching both the sellers and the buyers at all times very, very closely. Now, I would find myself when I'm trading, and you should do this the same, watching the level 2 data more than I watch the chart, especially at the point where I want to get into a trade. If I'm trying to buy stock, to short the stock, to take my profits, I will watch it more than I will watch the chart because all the data is here. On the left side, I have the time and sales. On the right side here, I've got the buyers and the sellers. That's just all the information I need. I watch the chart, I know what's going on, but at this point, I need to concentrate on the numbers. So right now, I'm just watching that.
Now, I'm not sure what he's going to say next, but now the buyers, as you can see, is higher than the sellers. At least according to the level 2. Now, this could be another fake out where the guy, had put up 300,000 shares, but he didn't actually buy 300,000 shares. He actually only bought 20,000 shares. What this guy likes to say is, I'm going to take a partial or something, so sometimes, he has 16,000 shares. Well, maybe he'll sell 11,000 shares and keep 5,000 and let and see if it goes even lower, and then maybe he'll sell half of that, maybe sell 2,500, and then let's say it goes to 7 or something, maybe he'll just sell the rest after that, and then he'll be done. He's done for the day. He's made $5,000 in an hour or whatever it is, 30 minutes, and he's done for the day.
Not watching the chart, not at all. Watch the sellers, 74,000 shares, 76,000 shares at 831. Buyers, 105. I'm concerned. So I think maybe this is the point where I should take my partial. So I'm waiting to see what is the balance. So sellers remain at 90,000. Buyers just came down to 9,000. So all is okay. I was concerned, but at the end, sellers came up and buyers came a little bit down. So we had a lot of buyers now. That does make me concerned again because we had too many buyers at one point there. But we came down again. Now sellers at 830, 70,000 shares, buyers 13,000. That's good. We're going to see a new low. So again,
and see a trader that may not have been as experienced, when they saw that this was higher than this. Let's say there was only 40,000 sellers and there's 80,000 buyers. They might have panicked and sold there. But this guy, he just stood pat for another couple, another minute or two and see what happens. And now there's hardly any buyers, and there's a lot of sellers.
And watch the buyers, watch the sellers at all times, and try and figure out if we're going to continue coming down. If you feel like there is a chance that it's going to move higher, maybe 2 or 3 cents, just take your partial. That's it. Now again, 100,000 sellers, 2,000 buyers. That's it. We're going to come down again. 100,000. Again, 830 buyers, not so many. We're supposed to come down another cent, and we just did. 828 now on the buying side. 20,000 shares. On the sellers, 60,000. But now we're popping up. Now, I didn't, this pop-up that you're seeing here, you can also see it on the chart here, just happened too quickly. So I did not manage to take my partial. I just didn't realize what happened there at the second. But now it came down again, a few more cents. So I'm trying to figure out whether it's going to come down to a new low, and at some point I'm going to take my partial. Definitely some more buyers came in. So we could have seen the balance shifts a little bit, and this area here is an area of concern. So now it's coming down again. But look at the number.
I mean, look right here. There's 100,000 buyers and only 20,000 sellers. So he could take a partial right here, and that probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
Of buyers, almost 100,000 buying shares, and now it came down, but they're still coming back. You can see that the buyers are still coming back. 30,000 on the buying side, which is again more than the side of the sellers. So I'm expecting it to move up. If it moves up even just 2 cents now, I'm going to take my partial. Earlier it just happened too quickly. Right now I'm watching it, and if it's going to pop up again, watch the buyers, watch the sellers, watch it now again. Number of sellers still high, but now I think we've got more and more buyers. I'm getting ready to take my partial.
And this is a different trading platform than he used to use. That video where I showed that guy had lost 850,000 in an hour. That was the software that he was using before. So it looks like he's changed his, or the company that he works for, changed their software somewhat, slightly, a little bit.
20,000 shares on the buying side just moved up 2 cents, and I took my partial here. Just 2 cents up, a little bit of a concern that it's going to move higher, and that's it. I'm out. I'm just leaving 1,000 shares and hoping for a continued move.
So you can see he only has 1,000 shares short left now. He had 16,000. And this is his profit right now. He's still up $280 on 1,000 shares.
Actually going to leave it for tomorrow because of the daily chart, but that's again another lesson that we're going to talk about some other time. So what did we learn today? We learned today it is extremely important to watch the chart, of course, but also very important, sometimes much more important, to watch the market depths. Now, if you watch the market depths and you know exactly how many buyers and how many sellers are at every level, we just talked about the level 1, we just talked about the buyers and the sellers, but you need to notice that there are more levels there which you can watch. And actually, I could set up my platform in a way that it doesn't really just shows the number of buyers and the number of sellers at each level. It can show how many buyers are at each level. So if we have sellers, or let's say sellers at 830, I could see how many sellers are there. I just prefer not to show you that. I just prefer that we're going to concentrate today. We're going to do another lesson about that. We're going to concentrate today only on the quantity of the shares, but it's also a concern of how many buyers or how many sellers are out there. Because again, if you have just one buyer or one seller, it's a different picture as if you had plenty, and of course, again, the quantity is...
it's called TradeNet. You got a t-shirt. TradeNet. That's the name of the company.
That we need to watch both the market depth, the quantity of the shares.
They'll actually give you a play account, and if you pass the test that they give you, And I think it's a very simple test. I think it's like, um, I don't know. I think it's like you got to make like $100 or something a day or something like that, or um, $500 maybe. I can't remember what it was, but it was maybe it was just $100 a day.
At any point, but also the time and sale. Was this a data that could be relied upon? Is this true that there were 300,000?
But anyway, guys, there's a little education if anyone is interested in trying to um, day trade and um, like I said, this guy he's good at shorting. I don't. I think he's a better shorter than he is a long position. But anyway, thanks for watching.